Hey! Welcome back, my name is Hunter Sorensen, and if you didn't know that, I'm just gonna ask you to go subscribe real quick, because every Wednesday and Saturday, we're bringing top-notch stuff to this channel. Today, we're gonna be talking about the differences between non-stabilized footage and stabilized footage, and why you might want either in different scenarios. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, first off, as you watch YouTube, you've seen tons of different types of footage. Even in my videos alone, you've seen footage that's shaky, you've seen footage that's like buttery smooth, and a mixture of both used into one video. We're gonna talk about the different uses of each types of footage, when you probably should use one or the other, and why you should use them. I'm gonna use a couple examples that I took using both non-stabilized stuff and stabilized footage, and I'm gonna throw them on the screen so you can kind of see the differences. You might be asking, Hunter, what is non-stabilized footage? I don't even know what that means. What that means is that when you're watching a video, for instance, when I'm vlogging and I'm pointing the camera at myself and like I'm hopping up and down and I have a lot of energy and you see it shaking a lot, that's because it's probably not very stabilized. Other examples you'll see in documentary films or in other sorts of short films that have a lot of intensity, and a person's maybe like running down the street and the camera's following after this person. You notice some shakes and stuff. The reason why that works though is because it creates this intensity, it creates this drama that people are looking for in that specific scene, and so it works. Stabilized footage, on the other hand, you see it a lot more in my cinematic shorts where it's really smooth, like panning and tilting motions, and you don't see a lot of shakes in this footage. What types of footage that's really good for are when you're trying to slow things down a little bit and things aren't as intense in the moment. Maybe you have a really calming moment and you're filming like a waterfall or something. You don't want that waterfall to be shaky because a waterfall is calming, it's soothing, and shaking is like not gonna bring that type of energy. There are 4 types of combinations regarding footage that you might want to take a look at, and the first one that we're gonna go over today is non-stabilized handheld footage. So the video that I have overlaid over my voice right now is an example of non-stabilized handheld footage. This means that my camera body does not have image stabilization built into the camera, neither does the lens. And what I'm doing with the handheld portion is I don't have anything attached, I'm just holding it with my 2 bare hands. I am trying to implement as much stability as I can to try to make it as smooth as possible. But you'll still notice around the corners especially that on each clip there is some shaking and it's not perfectly stable. Now this clip is showing the non-stabilized lens and body but attached to a 3-axis gimbal. Now gimbal we'll save for another video, but you'll notice that it's a lot smoother. The gimbal's motors allow the camera to stay stable and in center as to not allow the footage to be as shaky. You'll notice here and there that there are a couple shakes, like here up in the corner. Each clip has a little variation, but for the most part it is still pretty smooth. Now this clip right here is probably my favorite setup, especially for running gun moments where I'm doing a lot of things, I'm running around, and I'm not able to stand still and take a lot of motion pictures, but I still want to have it as smooth as possible. This is the stabilized handheld footage. This means that my body still doesn't have image stabilization built in, but the lens is optically stabilized. This allows for a lot smoother movements throughout the footage. You'll notice there's a lot less shaking. There still is, especially when I move my hands a lot, and you might see some shaking here and there, but for the most part the footage is pretty stable. This last clip here is a mixture of both the gimbal and the stabilized lens. When combined together, it gives you the utmost quality that allows you to have the smoothest footage pretty much as possible. The gimbal stops the camera from shaking, and so does the optical image stabilized lens. You'll notice that this one out of the 4 of them give you probably the smoothest look, a little bit more robotic, but if you train yourself to get better footage out of it, it can be the smoothest thing you will ever see. My best suggestion for you folks, if you want to get smoother footage or you still want to vlog and have that little energetic feeling, but it not being too much for the viewer, I would really suggest getting a camera with in-body image stabilization, or just getting a lens that also has image stabilization. One of the two or both, it doesn't really matter. The reason for that is because a lot of the time you're just gonna be holding it in your hand, and if you're shaking a lot, it tries its best to smooth out a little bit as possible, just so the viewers don't really feel like, you know. My next suggestion for you folks, if you do have a little bit bigger of a budget, is to look around on like Craigslist or eBay or somewhere and find even like a used 3-axis gimbal. Even more so than that, get an optically stabilized lens and a 3-axis gimbal, put them together, and you just have some quality footage. And I'll probably link actually my Steadicam below, which cost me about probably around 50 or 60 bucks to buy, and it provides really smooth footage actually. So I'll link that in the description below. You should check that out, and everything, all the other gear that you want to know about or see, that's all in the description below, so feel free to check that out. If you buy from those links, they are of no cost to you. If you were to buy something that's $25, it's still gonna be $25, but Amazon says Hunter's doing a good job with promoting these products to people. Let's give them like 5 cents. I want to thank everyone, all like 45 of you so far, for giving me the support that you have been. It's been great. I really feel like I'm trying to put out my best work and make it fun and entertaining and just look awesome for everybody watching, and it's been great getting just good feedback from everybody. If you haven't done so already, like the video, leave a comment, and as I've mentioned before, subscribe so you don't miss any of these awesome videos coming out every Wednesday and Saturday. That's all I got for now. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next video.